Hey guys, my name is James Hamilton. Just wanted to talk to you real quick, a reference to de-risking your portfolio. What is all the fuss about the three key elements that we talk about all the time? I wanted to shoot this quick video to demonstrate how you can implement what we call the SIG model to be able to infuse de-risking your portfolio and your whole portfolio, and being able to establish an income plan that's going to last you a lifetime, not just to retirement, but it also gets you through retirement. So we want to make sure that you understand what the real SIG model is all about. So when we talk about SIG, we talk about everyone has a bucket of income. You have dollars, you have money that you have been saving in the accumulation phase. You've been saving for 20, 30 years for some individuals, and you may start in your late 20s, early 30s, late 40s, whatever the case may be. You started saving revenue. And when you started saving those revenue, it's invested in a certain kind of way. Once you get up the hill, once you get 10 years prior to retirement, you need to start looking at a different strategy. Because in the accumulation phase, you spent most of your time with an accumulation specialist that grew your assets. And guess what? You're there. Once you hit the 10-year window, you need to begin to move into a different phase. That's when the SIG becomes real relevant to you, and actually will allow you to increase and extend the life of the portfolio for some people 10, 12 years. So let's walk through how this actually works. And so you have your assets. A portion of your asset is safe. What do we mean? The S stands for safe. What do we mean by safe? Well, what we're talking about when it comes to safety, this is a portion of your asset that when the market corrects, whether it corrects 20%, whether it corrects 30%, whatever the case may be, when the market begins to misbehave, as some like to make reference to, this portion of your asset stays stable. And there are certain types of products that you can use with this correlation of this asset to ensure that you have zero loss. But the thing is here is to capture the concept. The product is kind of irrelevant at this point. The concept is very, very important. So how do you establish which portion of your portfolio do you want to be safe? A lot of us like to make reference to what we call the rule of 100. What does that mean? 100 years old, you take that minus your age. Let's say that I'm 60 years old. That leaves roughly 40% of my portfolio. So basically what that means is 60% of my portfolio I label and I put into what we call the S model. That is called the S model for safety. So then now you have 60% of your portfolio that's absolutely in a position where you can't have any loss whatsoever. Then you have to take a look at the second letter. It is the I. The I stands for income. So you want your portfolio to do something, right? So you save for so long for a certain reason. Now you want your portfolio to be able to do something. What does that mean? You want it to be able to create an income for life, right? You want that income to go not just to retirement, but you want to go past and beyond retirement. You want to get way down the road. So you want a portion of your portfolio. There are certain product classes that goes inside of this also. The product class is not really important at this moment. What's important is the concept. And so with the S, you're gonna have a portion of your portfolio creating an income. For math purposes, we already use 60%. That's safe. We cannot lose any money whatsoever. So let's look at the S. Let's say we put another 20% of our assets here. So now we have 80% of our assets accounted for. So what's next? The next move is a big move. This is a big, big move. This is the growth, S-I-G. Why is this so critical? This is so critical because of what we call inflation, right? So you guys remember the 80s when we had hyperinflation, it was just running rapid. And so what you have to do at this point is you need a portion of your assets to be able to grow in a way where it's outpacing inflation. You don't need crazy growth, right? You don't need 15, 20%. You just need to outpace inflation year after year after year after year. And if you can continue to do that with a portion of your assets, then you get down the road, you won't have to worry about inflation taking hold. And when we talk about preparing for healthcare and all those things later on in life, once we get to that third phase of retirement, all of those things are kind of settled. So in this last portion, for number purposes, let's say we have another 20% of our assets. So we have 60, 80, 100. We're now accounting for 100% of our assets in a model called SIG, Safety, Income, and Growth. And then we can have another conversation. I like to have a 15-minute conversation with you to see how we can wrap and put this all together and show you what it looks like on paper. So we talk a lot about de-risking your portfolio. This is the proper way to de-risk your portfolio. You want to ensure that you have these things in place. You want to make sure that they're done correctly. We'll dive into, on the next video, we'll dive into the types of product that goes in each category. But right now, the most critical piece is the concept, because once you get up the mountain, we talk about the mountain all the time. We talk about climbing Mount Everest, that accumulation phase. Once you get into the distribution phase, the process and how you actually begin to distribute those assets to make them do what you have planned them to do for you in retirement is totally different than the accumulation phase. Accumulation is all about growing. The distribution, we got to grow some, but we got to be real careful here, because we don't have that element called time. Now we've lost the element of time. It's not on our side anymore. So hope this is helpful. Hope you take that time to get on my calendar. Let's have a quick phone call so I can walk you through why this is so critical, why this can save you in retirement. I know it's tough times right now. We're in some uncharted waters, but hey, look, if you have a plan, things will be okay. So with that, I'll talk to you soon, hopefully in the next couple of weeks here. My calendar's getting kind of full, but next couple of weeks, hope we have a conversation. Talk to you soon. You guys have a good night.